Alright, welcome to episode 0 of The Stack. I am Mick83 with my fellow co-host, the man that fun forgot, the one and only R. Russell, the R Square. How's it going, bro?
Yo, I am doing fantastic. Ready to get this. Man, it's really exciting doing this like episode 0, man. I'm really pumped.
Oh, yeah.
About to throw up.
Absolutely. This is our very first shot at doing I guess you can call it a podcast, I suppose. Basically our deal is, yeah, just a little bit about us. We're here, you give us a penny for our thoughts, we'll give you our 2 cents about Magic. We're here to talk about mainly the Commander format. We do talk about other Magic things, but we mainly focus on Commander and whatever else may come about.
Yeah, it's again, one of the other things that I want people to get from this is we're trying to make everybody, including ourselves, better players. By being able to think critically. Like, when we continue this, you all are going to know that I hate a lot of cards.
Absolutely. He hates a lot of cards.
But what's important is even if you disagree with me, you get to thinking about that card. And you think critically, and that's how you win games, that's how you become better players. And that's what I think the show is all about. It's about us being better players and thinking outside of the box. Sometimes thinking within the box, but mostly just thinking critically. Because it's really important, especially to this card game.
Yeah, because it is possible to have fun and be a good player at the same time.
Yeah. People might get mad at you for it, but we want people to be good players, and as I said, think critically.
Yeah, absolutely. On the subject of thinking critically, this, as we've stated earlier, this is episode 0. So what better subject to start out for episode 0 is the big O creature himself, Oblivion Sower, and why he should be a Commander staple.
Yeah, my guilty pleasure, the card that as soon as I saw, it gets spoiled, I was like, oh my goodness, this card is insane. It's the dumbest. Why aren't people going? Oh my goodness, everybody's going to be playing it. How am I supposed to beat this creature? But before we get into that, we should tell them who we are.
Oh yes, of course, that'll probably help. I am Mick83, age 32, currently married. Sorry, ladies. I've been playing Magic since.
Oh yeah, you're really missing out, ladies.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy.
Absolutely. Let's see. I started playing Magic back when I was at PG Community College, which would be about 2002-ish, just about 2001, 2002. So that clocks me in at 11 years, I suppose. Well, I can't say directly 11 years because I played for a little while, and then once I started working and did the military, yes, I served in the military also. I didn't play during that time, and it wasn't until I did my 5-year tenure in the military and I came back that my co-host here actually got me into playing Magic again, and since then I've been playing ever since, which was 2009. So I guess technically from 2009 to now I've been playing this game called Magic the Gathering.
Oh, that was part of your resurgence? I didn't even know that.
Well, yeah, dude. You were playing with everybody else, and then I just saw you and was like, oh, wait, I have those funny-looking cards with the weird pictures and the words on them. Let me get into it.
Alright. Cool. Well, I guess it's my turn. The name's Robyn. I go play R Square. I also went into the military, and I didn't play when I first went to college. I didn't play Magic. I saw people playing Magic, and I was like, I don't think that's the game for me. Like I started playing at the Zendikar block, and like in the Zendikar block, the cards were awesome. Everything was awesome. The mana was awesome. The creatures were awesome. And so that's when I really started playing. But then I fell off the standard around Pack Rat because that card I never experienced just a card that can win a game of standard like Pack Rat. And so then I watched people start playing Commander, and you could play any card that you wanted, and it's just as competitive as you want it to be. For some people, it's casual. For other people, it's not. And that's what I mainly play now. Like I don't really play standard, and I don't have the money to play modern, so this is home. And after all the games, I just wanted to go ahead and start talking about it.
Yeah, I mean that is true. I've talked to a wide variety of players from different game stores. And for the few who actually don't play Commander, usually one of the things that they say is that it's too expensive to get into. I personally do not agree with that for the main reason that in this format, I mean, aside from the fact that you only need one copy of whatever card you respectively need, but basically you have access to like the basically you have access to the entire Magic library to put whatever deck you feel you want to put together. And I feel that's what it's one of the more flexible formats, especially considering that, you know, it's still casual, but there's still a competitive spirit to it. And so
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, and so you have the flexibility to put together whatever it is that you want in your deck, but at the same time, it still has that, that you're just very eager. You want to see what's going to happen. You want to see like what you can put together, what works, what doesn't work. And I just really enjoy it. And to update a commander deck takes way less money than to update a standard deck or, God forbid, a vintage or legacy deck.
Well, I mean, it's like I think of it as like with Legacy. Like Legacy to me is what a lot of people will tell you is Legacy is really expensive to get into, but honestly, you have to have a buy-in. You have your buy-in a Legacy of $1,500, but after you have that $1,500 buy-in, that's pretty much going to be your Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And with Commander, you're going to have you don't really have an expensive headway like a super buy-in. It's not like you're going to be. It's not like you're going to be like, well, I have to have at least $1,200 in order to play Commander. That's just not right. You can build a creature deck that's going to cost you maybe $50. It might not be the greatest deck, but you can play and still be effective, and you're not just a nobody. You can actually kill somebody with just these cheap cards.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it great. That's what makes it great. You don't have to have this buy-in. Of course, if you want to up the ante, then you can start. I mean, if you're playing a 3-color deck, at first you could be playing just lands in or tap. All those uncommon lands from like Zendikar or Khans of Tarkir. And then when you start getting money, or you like, I really like this deck, I really want to go the extra mile, then that's when you can start buying your dual lands or your shock lands or whatever. So I like how it's the bar isn't set super high, but
Right.
if you want to go higher, you can.
Yeah, and that goes with the flexibility of Commander. You can start out with a bare bones, might get there, might not get there deck, and then as you play, you can find out what works, what doesn't work, and you can adjust accordingly. It's
Yep,
really, really,
absolutely.
it's one of the main things that I love about the format. And once again, the whole buy-in thing, like you don't even, it's not even really an issue, because once
Yep.
again, it's not like you're playing standard, it's not like you're playing modern, where You have to have
but
these types of
standard
decks.
you have to.
Yeah.
You just, there's certain cards that you have to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just wouldn't be the same. It's not like when the Shocklands were in, you couldn't play like some dual land that enters tap. It's just not the same. Like you had to play Shocklands. Like in standard, there are certain creatures. If you're playing red green, you had to play certain type of creatures. It's not the same in Commander. You can play whatever you want,
Right.
and you can be just as competitive or just as pricey as you want as well.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of things that, or rather cards that should be required in a deck, you, sir, Mr. R Square, you have a bone to pick with some of our fellow Commander players in terms of a creature known as Oblivion Sower.
Yep, okay, so I'm ready. My body is ready, and Magic community, I need to know why Commander players are not playing Oblivion Sower.
Okay.
I need to know. We need to have a dialogue. There needs to be a chat about it. Somebody needs to send me an email. Something, tweet me, I don't know. But I don't understand why you all are not playing this card.
Okay.
So, well, go ahead and, I guess, read the stats.
Okay,
Read the stats
so
in case there are people who do not know.
So for those of you who are new to the game of Commander or new to the game of Magic in general, and for those of you who probably already know who Oblivion Sower is, and just like a real refresher, here's the case. Oblivion Sower, who is cost 6 generic mana, is a 5/8 Eldrazi creature. He is a mythic rare. He says, when you cast Oblivion Sower, target opponent exiles the top 4 cards of his or her library. Then you may put any number of land cards that player owns from exile onto the battlefield under your control. So,
Okay.
sounds pretty juicy.
So good. So good.
All right, bro. You lead us off.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's start. First of all, for 6 mana, you get a 5/8. That thing blocks almost everything. I mean, granted, fighting on the ground is for suckers.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that. I mean, no card can be perfect, but it has junk in the trunk. It blocks everything. It blocks everything. What are you swinging at? I'm swinging at you with a 5/5. No, you're not. That's a 5/8. It blocks. It blocks, and also it attacks. Crazy. But the most important thing it does is it exiles 4 cards from somebody's library. Like, It just does that for casting it. Just casting it, 4 cards, gone. And I have never cast Oblivion Sower. Granted, I play Oblivion Sower as a combo piece. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I might be because nobody else is playing this card. I understand. But so I play it just to constantly recur to my hand and just keep casting it over and over and over. But I have never played Oblivion Sower and said, man, the 4 cards I exiled from that guy were just absolutely worthless. That's never happened. There's never been a point in the game where I've top decked Oblivion Sower and I've been like, man, this card is the worst right now.
And just to elaborate a little more on the cast ability, it specifically says target opponent exiles the top 4 cards of his or her library, but it also says then you may put any number of land cards that player owns from exile onto the battlefield under your control. That doesn't necessarily mean just the top 4. It means any lands that are in exile, you just take control of them.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, the card was played in Modern and Sideboard back when the Eldrazi deck was ran rampant.
Yeah, right before they lost their Eye of Ugin.
And everybody had Relic of Progenitus. They're like relic your yard. And then somebody cast Oblivion Sower, and then I remember looking as Oblivion Sower was cast, and his opponent I swear he had the fear of God in him. Like he was just like, oh my goodness, I don't have any out to that thing. He's gonna get my eye. He's gonna get everything. And I was like, yes, my body was ready. I was completely ready. I was like, oh my God, yes, get there. And that happens in Commander as well, because somebody will go, okay, fetch land, put a couple things in my graveyard, and then he's like, I got all this value in my graveyard, haha. And then random player that's playing black goes, but you can bog your graveyard? And he's like, all right, well, that's fine. And then I'm sitting there with this Oblivion Sower going, oh my goodness, the value.
Oh,
like
man.
the value. It's like all of a sudden, like the card starts proving value while it's in my hand. It's just ridiculous. But nobody, like, people don't play the card. People don't play it, and I don't understand.
Yeah, another thing about Oblivion Sower that, should scream Commander staple is that, it's 6 generic. You can put it in any deck. Like any deck. There's no color limitation. It can go in black, it can go in red, it can go in blue, red, blue, green, white, It can go in any deck.
It can go in any type of deck. Like it can go if you're trying to ramp mana. It can go in that deck. Because it's no Primeval Titan if you're talking about ramping, which that had to get banned. We all know that just had to go.
Oh yeah.
But if you're ramping mana and it's just like I got 6 mana on turn 4. Oh man, what am I gonna do with this mana? Oblivion Sower you. And I'd be like, that makes complete sense.
And
that makes complete sense because it can ramp you or it can take away 4 of their options.
And so, because I remember having a game a while back. I was using Mael, and I had a Fallen Shaman in play. And around the time that I was going to have 6 mana online, prior to that turn, I Fauna Shaman, and I thought to myself, well, what am I going to go get that, I don't mind having in my hand? Because, with Mael, your 5 power or greater creatures, you want them in the library. You don't want them in your hand. But when I realized that I had Oblivion Sower in the deck, I was like, hey, I can actually go get Oblivion Sower and actually play it. And then coincidentally, this was the same game that I told you before, where when I cast it, I targeted the green mage, and looky loo, I hit 4 forests. 4 forests.
That has never happened to me. I don't count when I Oblivion Sower everybody's library. Like I don't count that, but I have never casted Oblivion Sower by itself and hit 4 lands. It has never happened.
Oh, and when he says Oblivion Sower everybody's libraries, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay. But I've never hit 4 lands. I've never hit straight 4 lands. That's never happened for me. And you hit 4 forests. Like hit mountain, mana rock, planeswalker, land. I'll be like, okay, well, I get these. I want my land to come in untapped. I want to be able to do stuff because I cast this. But you hit 4 forests. Like when you told me that story the first time, I was so upset. I said, never have I ever been so lucky. And I already know somebody's already listening is like, I play Oblivion Sower and that happened with me, and they're going to tell me about it, and I'm going to be upset at you too. So
yeah,
that's fine.
And the other relevance behind the story is that was the very first time I have cast an Oblivion Sower ever. It wasn't until
I bet you as soon as you did it, you went, I'm never going back.
Nope.
I'm never going back. This is so awesome. Rob was exactly right. I cast this card, I feel good. I don't just feel my life in general.
Yeah, and that's another thing about Oblivion Sower. It feels good to cast the daggone thing. It's like you're getting a 5/8. It's gonna get rid of 4 things from the player that does not have Leyline of Sanctity. And yeah, but that's a whole nother story in itself. But yeah, it gets rid of 4 things. Best case scenario, it ramps you like crazy. Worst case scenario, you get rid of vital cards of your opponent, or whatever the case.
Yeah, because it's not like your opponent should be playing dead cards. It's not like, I mean, I get late game. Well, even late game. It's when you cast Oblivion Sower and you get rid of not even 4 lands, you get rid of four cards of theirs. Those are 4 cards that could have possibly been out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what happens if you hit their Ugin? Or their Ugin, insert combo piece here, their Wrath of God to kill your board, or their Catastrophe or Obliterate.
Yeah, or or another side tangent, what if you get their Insurrection? Like,
yeah, their Insurrection. Yeah, or even worse, what if you get their Oblivion Sower? Oh, goodness.
Dirty.
Oh, got your Oblivion Sower. Huh? Can't win now.
Nope.
Gotcha, buddy. Yeah, but I don't understand. It's like there's only a couple staples that all people play in their commander decks, and it's normally Soul Ring, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we only play Soul Ring because boy oh boy, is Soul Rings in our opening hand, or it's Soul Rings in our turns 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not even 1 through 4, 1 through 3.
Mm-hmm. Because after that, it's kind of, irrelevant.
Yeah, when somebody goes turn 5 Soul Ring, you go, whoop-de-doo, Basil. Like, you have 2 extra mana. Okay, so if I kill your commander, I guess you can cast again.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when they hit you on that turn 1 Soul Ring, you're like, crap. Ooh, I'm not going to have a good time. But, so that's a staple, and of course, Solemn Simchron.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a staple, is because everybody's like, well, I want the robot. I want him to go get, every time I cast him, he's going to go and get me a basic land, put it in play tap, and then when he dies, because I get to block whatever threat they attack me with, I get to draw a card. And to that extent, I want to say, well, what happens when people play hate cards like Torpor Orb? Oblivion Sower don't care about Torpor Orb.
No, he doesn't.
Your sad robot does.
Yeah, he does.
And I have played Torpor Orb many a times, and someone has cast a Solemn Simchron, and I say, you have to. But if you cast an Oblivion Sower, I'll be like, whoa, buddy, that thing gets around this clause.
Yeah, Torpor Orb does nothing to that.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah,
Can't stop that.
So yeah, because you got your ring, you got your Solemn Simulacrums, you have more recently you have your Burnished Hearts, because, Burnished Hearts are starting to be in a lot of decks too.
Yeah, and like, it took him a while to start becoming that actual staple.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I watched, like, a lot of people not play Burnished Hearts. Because I said, why don't you play Burnished Hearts? And they were like, well, it's slow. It is slow. It costs 3, and then you have to pay 3 and sack it, and then you get 2 basics and put them in tap. And I'm like, well, it gives every deck that plays it the opportunity to Explosive Vegetation.
Yeah.
Granted, it's going to cost you 6 mana instead of 4, but still, it can go in. Like, I've seen Burnished Heart go in the ready decks and pay dividends. Like, it is, like, or when somebody goes cheeky and Burnished Heart, that's the worst feeling in the world, because you're like, oh my goodness, they're going to thin their deck so much.
Mm-hmm.
But and it took a a while for that card to be a staple, but like I don't see people picking up like Oblivion Sowers, and it's not like he's not played in Standard, and now I don't think he's played in Modern because there's no Ilugan anymore.
Right. I doubt he would see playing at this point, unless somebody out there comes up with some sort of brew to where it can get him out consistently and it's competitive. But
and I don't see that happening. I mean, right now, when we're recording this, it's that awkward phase of Standard where we just had a transition. But most of the time, when we have a transition from when we switch formats or something comes in and something else leaves, most of the time the decks that consistently win until people like pretty much figure out the format is aggro deck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he doesn't fit in an aggro deck in Standard. It's just like normally when you hit 6 mana in Standard, that's the late game. When you hit 6 mana in Commander, we're just playing.
Right.
Like we just sat down and started playing a game.
Mm-hmm.
We go, we're at 6 mana. All right, well, let's go. It's not the late game, and sometimes it's not even the mid game when you hit 6 mana in Commander.
Yeah, because in our format, it's really not hard to get to 6 mana within like the first 3 turns, with all the different options that you have available to you. And in Oblivion Sower's case, because getting to 6 mana is really not hard, you would think it would be more of a reason to run something like Oblivion Sower. And even with the ramp talk aside, just the fact of what he does, he makes for a really good utility creature. Like I can see a conversation where someone's like, "Oh, what that's Krinko. What does Krinko do? Oh, he makes goblins equal to the number of goblins in play. Oh, okay, that seems cool. Okay, so on this turn I'll play Oblivion Sower." It's like, wait. I thought this was a goblin deck. Yeah. I'm going to Oblivion Sower and get rid of some stuff and probably get some more lands in case I need it. Or
in case I need it, in case you kill my Krinko for
right.
the 30th time.
Right. Or it's like, oh look, it's Marchesa. What does Marchesa do? Oh, it has Dethrone. It gives all creatures Dethrone. And then if those creatures have +1/+1 counters on them, when they die, they come back. That's cool. Okay, so I'm just going to play this Oblivion Sower. Wait. Oblivion Sower? Yeah. It's like there's really... Unless the card completely hoses whatever synergy you may have, which shouldn't be any deck for that matter, Oblivion Sower should really just be in every deck. Because it can.
And it's not like I don't understand, because I know like there are some dedicated combo decks out there that can't fit in or change a single card. Like I know I've seen them. Like I've gone to a couple EDH tournaments and looked at those guys' decks, and I'm like, whoa, this deck is jam-packed with everything that costs actual dollars and actual cents. I don't see how you can fit anything in here. But and of course there are some people that when they play tribal, they stick to tribal. Like I'm playing tribal dragons. Mm-hmm. So everything in the deck, a dragon or has something to do with the dragon. Okay, I get it. Because as I said, casual format, and there are some people that are real sticklers. But for those decks that don't have that dedicated combo, or decks that are just straight like
synergy,
it doesn't mess up their synergy, or they should be playing Oblivion Sower. It's just, it makes too much sense. Mm-hmm. It makes too much sense. And I know, like, Oblivion Sower is a lot better than a lot of creatures that are in our format. He's a lot better. He goes in any deck. And, like, I have a deck of Planeswalkers, red, white, blue, and the only reason I'm not playing an Oblivion Sower in that deck is because I don't have another one.
Right.
That's the only reason I'm not playing it, because I play a lot of Mana Rocks, and feel good to just stick an Oblivion Sower.
Right.
I can either get a couple lands, or I can get your combo pieces. Or, you know what, you just won't be playing that card this game.
I mean, it kind of has that early feel back when Jason Mind Sculptor was in standard, alongside with some of the Titans, like Primeval Titan and Frost Titan. It kind of has that shade of that. Not exactly that same feeling, but it's similar. Where because you're running a control build, you're not gonna run creature heavy, but the few creatures that you do have are gonna be quality, that are, one, going to do something when you cast them or when they hit play, and two, they're going to provide you with some type of defense. Because usually with control builds, you don't really have much defense aside from maybe counter magic or some type of bounce spell.
Board wipes as well.
And of course, and also board wipes, yeah. And then that's the other good thing about Oblivion Sower in regards of like board wipes, is that once you cast Oblivion Sower, it did its job.
It did its job.
It did its job.
100% does its job every time he casts it. Every time he casts it. And then after that, he can sit there and be a brick wall. He can be a brick wall after that. He just sits there and blocks for me all day.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I'm playing Animar. If I'm playing Animar, one, I'm already playing unfair because I'm playing Animar. And if I cast Oblivion Sower and I'm playing Animar, like somebody tell the fat lady she's on her 5.
Right.
Because the game's about to be over.
Yeah, it's
and I don't know how many times I have cast Oblivion Sower playing Animar, and people have just gone, okay, well, I'm just going to exile 4 cards. And they never see the problem when I return the card to my hand. Like, I don't understand that. But, you know, that's a topic for another day. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish that people would actually play that card more often.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the new Eldrazi aren't getting that much love, and mainly because they're not as good.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think that of the new Eldrazi, especially for the Commander format, this is like the best one. It's cost efficient. It goes in any deck. It's not like the two big Eldrazi Titans. You're not going to play those unless you're playing a very specific deck.
Right.
But this card can fit in any deck. In any deck, it just goes right in, and it can find a home. It can find a home.
Okay. So in your opinion, how would you rate Oblivion Sower in regards to the other Big Daddy Eldrazi's that are, Commander legal? Like your top 5, your top 5.
I would write. Well, to me, Kozilek is number 1.
He's talking about old Kozilek, by the way.
Yeah, old Kozilek. Okay, the new Kozilek. If I had to pick where he would be in a scale of like 1 to 5, 1 to 5. 0. I think that card is terrible in this format. I think that card is it is really bad. It is really bad. But so the old Kozilek though, number 1, number 2 Oblivion Sower.
Okay.
Number 2 Oblivion Sower. Then old school Ulamog. Then new Ulamog.
Right.
And then, goodness gracious, I guess I have to name another Eldrazi.
Well, probably not.
I'm still not gonna name Kozilek.
Right. I mean, I think the only other Eldrazi worth mentioning after that would probably be Thought-Knot's Ear.
Well, I think I can't remember his name. when you cast him, he exiles a artifact, enchantment, or a land.
Oh, right. Let me bring up his name while we're talking about this.
Yeah. But I think he would be number 5. And then as far as other Eldrazi go, the guy that puts a permanent in converted mana cost with 3 or less, I think he's really good for the format.
You're talking about Matter Reshaper.
Yeah, Mana Reshaper. He's really good, and even like the old school Eldrazi, like Ulamog's Crusher. Like those things are good. And then way down at the bottom is New Kozilek. New Kozilek. And I can already see some people going, R squared, really? When you cast this card, you draw 7 cards, or equal to 7 if you don't have them. And then you can pitch a card and then counter a spell that has the same converted mana cost. And to you, I say, no. Because every time I've seen New Kozilek cast, I have seen him counter 0 spells.
Yeah.
I have seen him die a terrible, terrible death plenty of times. But I've never seen him counter a spell. I have watched somebody go, check me out. Kozilek. Draw 7? Because he was hell-bent. He drew 7. And the guy went, cool, pass the exile, and he looked at his hand, and he couldn't save his poor Kozilek. He couldn't save it. I've seen somebody just go, like old school, just hit it with a Doom Blade, and they look at their hand, and they go, Kozilek's dead. It's because I just don't think that card is good. I think it's too much. It doesn't do enough. But old school Kozilek, oh boy, I've never cast that card and felt bad. Never cast that card and felt bad. Every time I've cast that card, I've been like, draw 4 cards. You're going to have to deal with this 12. I'm sorry. Old school Kozilek and old school Ulamog do not have power and toughness. They have Annihilator 4. And if you decide to block, Annihilator 5. That's what they are. And so, like, when I cast that Kozilek, I feel good. And then when I cast Oblivion Sower, I feel good. I only cast Ulamog, the old school Ulamog, if I'm like, I gotta kill something. Like, that's the only time I cast that thing. I'm like, I gotta kill something. But and that's how I'd rate him. And hopefully everybody understands like how I feel about that.
I do have one modification to your top 5, top 10, however you want to call it. I think, okay, old Kozilek seems good. Oblivion Sower seems good where they are. Old Ulamog, new Ulamog, they seem alright. Me personally, only because it has a special place in my heart, and if I get crucified for it, I don't care. I love this card to death.
I already know what you're talking about. But
my number 3 is gonna be Eldrazi Displacer.
Of course it is.
Because Eldrazi Displacer is so great.
Yeah, Eldrazi Displacer is good, and he's 2 and a white.
Yeah, he's 2 generic mana, 1 white. He is a 3/3. He has 2 generic and 1 colorless. You exile target creature, then you return it to play tapped. And I've gotten some mileage out of that guy. By the way, he's also devoid, so he counts as a colorless creature, which that's irrelevant for me. Just mainly the blink effect is just really really good, and he's very cost effective.
Yeah, because I remember that. Like we had a game, and my planeswalkers, the commander for the deck is Newmont, and that's because I don't think Narset is as good for a planeswalker deck because Narset doesn't block. But
And
I
another.
played Newmont like
Go ahead.
turn 3, and you played Eldrazi Displacer, and I had to attack somebody else to blow up 2 of their lands. But as soon as you untap, I said Newmont will never get to blow up anyone's lands ever again. Ever again. Goodness gracious, just blinked.
Yeah.
I only went to combat just to show, like, just because I thought it was the right thing to do.
Mhm. Yeah, because I had to.
That card is really good.
Yeah, because I had to read Newmont, because Newmont says target lands. He doesn't say target lands defending player controls, just target lands in general.
Oh yeah, and I was definitely coming after you.
Yeah, so it was like.
Definitely coming after you.
So I just had to, because.
I have no qualms about destroying somebody's lands, and believe me, y'all out there on the internet, when you meet me in person, I have no problems destroying your land. I don't.
He doesn't.
I don't. I think it is an effective way to win.
If
there are plenty of people that have their qualms about destroying land, and that's going to be a topic for another day.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to blow up your land if I have the option.
But
If I have the option.
Yeah, so it's like, so basically, you know, since we're past the list of really really awesome Commander Eldrazi, not necessarily them being your commander, but just being in your 99. Oblivion Sower is just value across the entire board. He's everything that you would want in a creature without being overpowered. And even saying that he's not overpowered, that's not even saying like he's weak or anything. He's really really strong. Really strong for what he does.
He's really strong. Obviously, he's stronger in some decks than others, but he's good enough to go in any deck.
Right, absolutely. So, if you're listening to us out here, you know, if you have a deck that doesn't have an Oblivion Sower in it, our challenge to you is put him in there if you have him. Try him. See how it works out for you.
Try him out.
Yeah, just try him out. Guarantee you when you play him, you will not be disappointed. Whether you win the game or not, you will not be disappointed when you play Oblivion Sower. Because Oblivion Sower is just plain awesome.
Yep, he is. So yeah, I guess that's our challenge to you. If you're not playing him, give him a shot.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good challenge. I don't know if we can keep up with giving them like a challenge every episode. Like, I don't know if we can keep up with that.
I mean, hey, we will figure this out as we go. I mean, this is episode 0. We're just feeling it out. So.
Yeah, I mean, goodness gracious, that would be our challenge to come up with challenges for them. Oh man.
Hey, you know what? That actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. Okay, so all right, so I guess for this episode, our challenge to everybody out there in the world of Commander, if you're running a deck that does not have Oblivion Sower in it, and just put him in there and see how he works. See if he does. See if he's just as rewarding to cast when you play him as he is for us. Because I have 0 qualms with Oblivion Sower. He's just the excuse the corniness. He's the bee's knees.
Oh boy, the bee's knees.
Absolutely the bee's knees.
Yeah, he's the bee's knees.
Mm-hmm.
He is the bee's knees. Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
I respect that, and I guess our challenge to ourselves is to come up with a challenge for I guess our episode 1.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's where we need to head. So, I think we've covered just about everything about Oblivion. Or was there anything else you wanted to add? Or
No, I think I have given our Magic community enough to digest and to think on and to be able to reflect and play Oblivion Sower. So, goodness gracious, I feel like I should be like I should have like a pen on me or something, and I should be saying like vote for Oblivion Sower, and I should be slandering other cards like I don't know why you're playing this 3/3, this vanilla 3/3 instead of playing Oblivion Sower.
yeah.
Or yeah, I feel like I should be slandering so many cards. But I really think that people should pick that up and try it and Mike and McKenzie 3 will tell you like I am a stickler and I hate a lot of cards.
He really does.
Boy, when this goes on, you will know that I hate a lot of cards. And if somebody tweets me a card and they're gonna say, hey, well, what do you think of this card? I'm going to tweet back, I think this card is terrible. And I probably won't get a tweet from them anymore, but I'm not going to lie to you.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie to you. So, I'm definitely going to let you know that I have strong opinions about cards. And for me to like a card, I really have to like the card.
Yeah, and it all works out because I'm nearly the opposite of that. I'll tell you a card is great until I sit down and think about it for a bit. But my opening thought on a card will be, oh man, this is cool. You can do this, this, and this. Then I'll actually play it and be like, oh, I'll either be, oh, I was right. It is this, this, and this, or I'll play it and be like, I don't think I thought about this very much. It's all good.
I mean, that's like a lot of the Magic community when spoiler season comes out and they're like, oh my goodness, this Planeswalker's so good. Oh, it's going to be in like every deck. And then as soon as they play it, they go, oh my god, this thing does nothing.
Oh, and hey, spoiler, that's going to be in a future episode. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is going to be in our future episode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to talk about that too.
Yep, me too. But alright, I think we got it covered. If you haven't gathered anything else, we'll just make the long short of it. Play Oblivion Sower. It's awesome.
Yeah, play Oblivion Sower.
But
Not being bad at the game.
Yeah, so I believe this concludes episode 0 for your host, McAG3.
And R squared.
We bid you all adieu. And
we did it.
we did it. Ah!
Yeah, we did it.
Excitement.
Episode 0
Episode 0
down.
down, bro. Absolutely.
Appreciate you all tuning in for us, man. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
Hope you stick around. We got a lot to talk about.
Yep. Well, friends, we'll be looking forward to seeing you again soon.